Yo, what's up, YouTube? What a great picture here. DGP back again with another episode of this Patriots Keys. Let's talk about free agency as the new NFL calendar year is coming up. It starts on Thursday, March 9th. Tampering for free agency starts today, actually, so people can actually talk to people, like other teams can talk to free agents. They can sign deals in, verbal agreement and actually sign it at 4 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. So, speaking of free agency, I kind of been slacking on the Patriots videos. I've written them down, but my software's been messed up. But I know you guys don't want to hear all of that stuff. Just know, pretty much every day this week for the next week, I'll try to have a Patriot video talking to you guys about, because I'm going to do a season grade for the offense and defense, and especially I throw that in there with the defense for this past season for the Patriots. I'll talk about our free agents that's we have. I will talk about, just free agent news that we get, like when we sign players and stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's talk about the topic at hand now. Adrian Peterson cut by the Vikings about a week or two ago. Brandon Marshall just got cut by the Jets about a week ago. So, people are talking about, two pretty much losers. Brandon Marshall more so than Adrian Peterson, because Brandon Marshall has yet to go to a playoff game. People are talking about the Patriots have interest in both of them. Now, do we need both of these guys? Not really. They can help for sure. But the question that people are talking about is, who, if we had to pick one, because me personally, I don't think we're going to get either one. That's just me. I don't see us getting either Adrian Peterson or Brandon Marshall. That's just kind of how I feel about the situation. But if we had to pick between Adrian Peterson and Brandon Marshall, who do we go for? Now, you guys know Martellus Bennett, most likely 90% sure he's not coming back. He's going to go get his money. LeGarrette Blount, 80% sure he's going to go get his money. So, we're going to lose our backup tight end who was a big factor in this past season. We're going to lose our big bruising back for our running plays, for our power, for our, first two downs, just for our running plays. We're going to lose that back. So, we can replace Blount with AP. We can kind of replace Martellus Bennett with Brandon Marshall, because Marshall is like a big target. I think he's like 6'4", 230, one of the biggest receivers out there. Pause, you need it. So I'm going to tell you about these guys' stats and history, because they're about the same age. AP's 31. Brandon Marshall, I believe, is 32, if I am not mistaken. But before we get on to that, let's talk about these guys, what they bring to the table. Now, Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs to ever play the game. Like, I'm telling you, man, his career numbers over 11,000 yards rushing, has almost 100 yards rushing touchdowns, needs 3 more. He'll probably get that next year wherever he goes. Again, Adrian Peterson, he does have a lot of miles traded on him. Looking at his attempts per year, if besides his 2 years last year where he tore his meniscus, and then in 2014 where he tore his ACL, I'm looking at it, and he has at least 200 carries per year. And outside of those 2 injury years that he had, in 2011, he was 30 yards shy of having 1,000 yards. But besides that, he's 1,000-yard back. So, where does that leave us? And then we're looking at Brandon Marshall, who, in his career, 2 seasons ago, 2015, he had 14 TDs. He had 1,500 yards passing when the Jets' offense was explosive. And then last year, the Jets tapered off. All his stats basically got cut in half. He had 109 receptions in 2015, 59 in 2016. 1,500 yards 2015, had about 800 yards 2016. 14 touchdowns in 2015, which is his career high for touchdowns. Went down to one of his career lows and 3 touchdowns. So we're looking at it as, if we lose Bennett and Blount, who are we going to replace? Are we going to replace Blount or are we going to replace Bennett? Now, me personally, I think we should go after Adrian Peterson. Now, again, I know running backs, when they hit 30 years old, that's the time that they get the miles straight off. But here's why I say Adrian Peterson. The Patriots are looking to bring back Michael Floyd. If the Patriots believe in Michael Floyd to be that big target, big physical target, if he's able to play, because I know he's in jail right now for about 2 more weeks for his DUI incident. But if the Patriots bring Michael Floyd back and they believe in him, I don't see any point in getting a Brandon Marshall. I mean, if you can get both of these guys, more power to you. But if you already have a big wide receiver, big target, it's no need to double down on that. Now, again, something that people don't know about the Patriots, we don't draft wide receivers well. That is one of the things that we have never done. We've never drafted wide receivers well. Pretty much what we do is We get wide receivers that has already been in the league, like a Chris Hogan, a Danny Amendola, who hasn't panned out in another team, but we bring them over here and they look great and we kind of resurrect their career. So the only good wide receiver that we ever drafted for real in the past decade, I guess you could say Malcolm Mitchell, but it was only his rookie year, so we're going to see more of him. And Julian Edelman, who we drafted in the 7th round as a quarterback. So every other receiver, like, it's pretty much going down here. Remember, we drafted Matthew Slater. I mean, he's not really a receiver. He's more of a special teamer. Drafted Sam Aiken years back. He's not he's not really that good of a receiver. We drafted Kenbrell Tompkins, not in the NFL anymore. So, we don't draft receivers well. So I can see us going after Brandon Marshall, and it understands because we can make receivers good as long as they've already been established in the league. But in terms of drafting receivers and people talking about, oh, you can just draft receiver, draft running back, we don't do a good job drafting receivers. We had another guy, dude out of North Carolina, I can't think of his name. We just, all our receivers that we draft just do not pan out in the league in 2-3 years. They're typically gone. So that's why I can see us bringing in Brandon Marshall, a guy who's already established. But again, if you already have a Michael Floyd, and if you believe he can be that target, because he did have a good Week 17 game, but playoffs and he was new to the system and everything, so I'm gonna give him credit. I'm gonna give him a pass on that. But if you believe in Michael Floyd to be that big target who's 6'3", 230, you don't need to get Brandon Marshall. You need to replace LeGarrette Blount with Adrian Peterson, because that's how we our first 4 weeks was all LeGarrette Blount, and that's what Adrian Peterson can do. Imagine Adrian Peterson only having 12, 15 carries a game with Tom Brady as quarterback. Think about that. And as long as Adrian Peterson doesn't fumble the football, and again, if he only has 12, 15 carries, I don't see him fumbling the football that much because he does have a fumbling issue, but I don't see him fumbling the football that much. 12, 15 carries a game, he can be that LeGarrette Blount person where when we need to run the ball, we're up by 10 in the fourth quarter, we're going to just hand it off to all day, and Adrian Peterson, who's probably going to be fresh from the whole game, is just going to run through the talent. And again, he's been on some playoff teams. You saw what he did when he had Brett Favre, and then let me look at the stats actually in 2011. I think that was 2011. He asked it when he kind of had his down year when he didn't have 1,000 yards, but he was efficient. And I mean, I'm telling you, then he came back. I'm sorry, it was in 2011. It was 2009, I should say. He had his best season, 18 touchdowns. He had 18 touchdowns when he had Favre there. Then he had 12, and he also had I think that was it for Favre. He had 18 and 12 touchdowns, and those are his top 2 touchdowns in his career. How many touchdowns LeGarrette Blount had last year? Had 18 touchdowns. So I'm just saying, if you have a Hall of Fame quarterback with Adrian Peterson, you pair that up, you already know that is our dynamic duo. So if I'm New England, I'm going after Adrian Peterson, especially if we can get it for a discount. You go after Adrian Peterson, you go after all day, pair him up with Tom Brady, let those two do work, have 2 Hall of Famers in the backfield with Brady and AP. And man, I'm telling y'all, that's a scary combination. So let me know what y'all think down below in the comment section, even if you're not a Patriot fan. Who do you think is the better fit for us? Do you think it's Adrian Peterson? You think it's Brandon Marshall? Me, again, I'm leaning with Adrian Peterson. So guys, that's going to be it for the video. I will have another Patriots video tomorrow. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's going to be the grades, if it's going to be what free agents are coming back and which ones aren't, if it's going to be just, who should we go after in free agency. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try to get back on the Patriots talk and everything. Season's coming up for the new calendar year. Super Bowl year, it's over. The Super Bowl don't really matter like that no more because we on to next year. No days off. So, again, that's going to be it. Like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. If you enjoyed the video, again, put a like on the video. Share this on Twitter with all the Patriot fans and all the NFL fans, because I like having NFL conversations on Twitter and in the comment section down below. So, this is DGP. Catch y'all next one. Peace. So light 'em up, light 'em